Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if this is your first time being here. This is Empowered Gems Tarot. My name is Melissa. This channel used to be called Tarot by Melissa, so if you've been looking for me under that name, then you are in the right place. Today's reading is going to be looking into the month of May and what is ahead for you. So we will be working with tarot and oracle cards for today's message. We will also be working with charms and dice, all of which will be timestamped down below to give you a really well-rounded snapshot of what's ahead for the month of May. Remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so the messages may vary with how specifically they're going to resonate with each individual viewer out there. So just make sure that as you're viewing your message, that if anything ever feels confusing to you or just doesn't really feel like it fits with where you know you're going in life, those are probably indications that it's not your message. So just release it, let it go, accept that the message is for someone else out there in the collective. And if you guys did need a personal reading for more personalized guidance, the link to my website is in the description box down below if you wanted to book with me. With that being said, let's go ahead and select your reading. So we do have a choice today between 3 different readings for you to pick from. If you're drawn to reading number 1, we will be working with this scolecite crystal. If you are drawn to reading number 2, we will be working with this moss agate. And if you are drawn to reading number 3, we will be working with this rose calcite or pink calcite crystal. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about the month of May and what's in store for you. Go ahead and select the crystal or card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey group 1, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what's in store for you for this upcoming month of May. You guys selected these scolecite crystals, so we're going to go ahead and jump in with your tarot and oracle cards first, and then your charms portion of your reading will also be timestamped down below in case you like to skip ahead to that portion a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and see what's in store for you, group 1. So we start off with the message of exposed and revealed. We have the 3rd house, communication. And we have the moon, perception. So these are your overall kind of energies and themes that you are working through this month, okay? So I really feel like this month is bringing up a really beautiful opportunity for you, group 1, to heal. And the reason that I'm saying this is because of this message of exposed and revealed being here at the heart of your spread. So this card, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it is a card that talks about feeling shame or healing shame. So I think that there could be potentially this month some situation or situations that arise where you might find yourself feeling a little bit triggered, or maybe people are projecting shame onto you or making you feel a certain type of way. And what this card really talks about is that when we're feeling triggered, or when we start to feel this inner shame coming through, it is an opportunity for us to kind of go within and work through the healing, okay, that's needed. Because a lot of times these external things that occur that kind of pull these things up in us are a sign of unresolved issues within us that we need to draw our attention to. So it is interesting, right? Because it's like, I kind of feel, let me look at this. Yeah, like you can see there's someone here kind of like in the fetal position trying to hide or kind of trying to avoid the feeling that they're feeling. And so that could be kind of a core central theme for you guys this month of just kind of trying to hide from it or not wanting to feel what you're feeling. But I do think that if you're able to kind of allow yourself to feel it and address it, you're actually going to be able to transmute this and become more powerful on the other side of it, because this energy does talk about our personal power. It talks about our self-worth. So there is something around your personal power that is being highlighted and upgraded this month through doing this work. Maybe some of you have already been doing this work coming into the month of May. And this is going to be a month where you do feel more empowered, because it's like when I'm looking at the surrounding cards of communication and perception here, that's really standing out to me as like, maybe this is a month where our perception of something is shifting. Maybe this is a month where we are addressing and communicating more effectively when we're feeling this way, right? So I think it is a really beautiful, empowering month ahead for you, Group 1, as it pertains to this core issue that's here, this core energy that is here. So third house energy, as the card says, it does talk about communication. I feel like there is something here with like interpersonal communication that is significant. Third house can also talk about like siblings or sibling-like relationships, acquaintances, even like maybe like casual coworker relationships. I could see that being significant as well. It also can talk about like short distance travel. For some of you, that could be significant, right? And of course, the moon is talking about the way we perceive things, but it also talks about our inner world, right? And I really do feel for a lot of my Group 1 viewers, your inner world and the way that you're feeling within your interactions with others is going to be highlighted for you and emphasized, okay? So let's kind of get into our tarot cards next. We are going to take reversals today because I just was feeling called to that. So let's see. So help us see, Spirit, what is next with regard to this energy in the month of May for group number 1. I will also add, you guys, exposed and revealed can talk of imposter syndrome too. So if any of you guys ever struggle with that, imposter syndrome is kind of like the energy of feeling like we don't really belong or deserve something, and yet we're in this position and we're afraid someone's going to see us for like the metaphorical imposter that we are. It's a really interesting phenomena. I would read about it if you're not familiar. Okay, let's see. And one more, please, Spirit. What's happening in May for group 1? All right, so we have 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so lots of Pentacle energy here. One thing that I do want to say, you guys, is that with this 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I do feel like emotionally you're very whole, right? Emotionally you are fulfilled. Emotionally you are whole. I feel like you've got everything that you need to be happy within your inner world, which is really, really beautiful to see. We have more of an emphasis this month on Pentacle energy. So the Pentacles is going to be the energy of like our money, finances, the work that we're doing, the tangible material efforts and tangible like material things within our world, right? Career, that type of stuff. And we've got this energy of the 6 of Pentacles right at the center in the upright, which is kind of making me feel there's something here that is significant about generosity of resources. Okay, so with the 6 of Pentacles, when I'm looking at this card, it's like we have one person and they are dropping all of these flowers into the crowd and everybody's trying to grab one. It's just kind of giving me this energy of like a scarcity mindset being significant this month. Maybe feeling worried that you're not going to get something, feeling worried that whatever you're getting is not enough. Maybe you're getting something and having a hard time with the imposter syndrome of like, oh my gosh, I was given this thing. Like, now I have it. Am I good enough for this? There is definitely like an emphasis here with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse on, I feel like talking with or working with others instead of working by yourself, right? Because the Nine of Pentacles talks about independence. So it can be like financial independence, entrepreneurship could be significant. But it's like when we are kind of in our own world, we don't really need anyone else because we worked to this place of abundance and prosperity where like we're good. I'm noticing the little birds here though, kind of similarly to this third house. And so I do feel with it being reversed, there is going to be like support needed from others this month, which maybe makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. But that communication with others, maybe collaboration with others is significant as you are either like building your money or building your career, building your business, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. But it's like without getting the help with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, there's going to be stagnation, right? And so I think that that's what Spirit wants to call attention to for you, group number one, is like being worried about like receiving support or being worried about receiving help, not wanting to receive help, or whatever it is that's going on around resources here and the amount that you are or aren't getting. Like, I think there is a need to be receptive to it and know that you deserve it in order to be able to progress forward. Because the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is kind of like a stubborn energy, or it's an energy of stagnation where we're not really moving forward with the things that we have planned. And it feels like it's connected to this Six of Pentacles, this willingness to receive support or give support. Okay, so let's keep going. Group one. All right, so group one, what else can you tell us, please, Spirit, about this month? What else can you tell us about this month ahead for group one? Please. Healer of the ages. So there's that healing energy that's coming up, right? So this is about what we were talking about at the beginning of your spread. Doing the inner work to heal those feelings of shame. You know, maybe some of you guys are struggling financially, and this is about like, you know, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse can talk about when we need support, right? Sometimes versus us having all of the resources that we need. You've got the emotional inner world, fine, but it's like maybe the inner resources, I'm not the inner resource, maybe our external resources, maybe they're not where we want them to be. And so with that Six of Pentacles, this could be about like getting help, or I almost feel like for some of you guys, you feel like you might deserve more than what you're getting, and that might be triggering you as well. You know what I mean? I could definitely see that being the case, because with this Six of Pentacles, it's like, ugh, I have to share with all these people. Like, I'm not guaranteed to get what I need, and that might be frustrating you guys a little bit as well. So again, it's bringing up like when you're feeling triggered by it, whatever the exchange of energy is for you, because there's a couple different scenarios here. When you're being triggered by it, by these external material circumstances, Spirit is saying this is a sign to go within and do the healing work. It's almost like you're feeling shame because you're not getting something, or not enough, or you don't want to receive help. Like, it's a couple different scenarios. Okay. We do also have the broken heart as well. Yeah. With anxiety at the bottom of the deck. So this too, you guys, can be like, maybe connected with interpersonal relationships in terms of like the effort that people are putting in or not. You know what I mean? Like the Six of Pentacles, like when I'm tapping into this energy, I do feel a little frustrated. Okay. The Six of Pentacles is sometimes an energy of breadcrumbing, you know? And when I'm looking at this card is like whoever has the resources just seems to be haphazardly throwing them into the crowd without a lot of thought or intention as to like who is getting what. And everybody's just got to like fend for themselves to get a sunflower here. You know what I mean? So there is something about this energy of breadcrumbing that is, I think, very frustrating for you. And it's making you feel stagnant, like you can't really move forward. And it might even, yeah, I think it is very triggering for you. But again, the trigger coming from these external material circumstances, Spirit is saying, provides you the opportunity to go within, right? To address those feelings of shame or lack of worthiness that you're feeling. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so we have the bride, wife, and engagement. This could have to do with a partner, like a spouse. We also have the wheel, endings and beginnings. With the ocean, distance and journey. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. This is reminding me of the Three of Swords, you guys. So I do think that there is some sort of like an ending here. One thing that I'm seeing for some of you guys is, in like a very literal sense, Nine of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. I could see this being like you guys losing a job for some of you or getting laid off. Six of Pentacles is sometimes, for me, has been like a severance agreement, like where you're getting some little bit of support, but it might not be fully what you need, right? Or fully what you're expecting for like the hard work that you've done, you know, to get to where you are. I could see that, especially with a broken heart. So only take that if you know that's like the case with your situation. It may not be the case for all of you. For some of you, this could have to do with like a marriage. You know, like maybe some of you guys are a wife, or this has to do with your wife. The energy of partnership and commitments is significant here. So yeah, something is coming to a close, I feel. With the Six of Pentacles, it feels like Nine of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, something's coming to a close. Knight of Pentacles reverse is kind of like we have a stop in the progress forward, or maybe our plans are being diverted from where we wanted to go. But I think that Spirit is, with the wheel, it's like an energy of redirection to somewhere new. It just might not be fully clear where you're going yet, Group 1. So I want to get more info on this for you. So I'm going to clear all the cards off, and then we're going to look into the charms next. All right, Group 1, let's get a little more insight into what is happening this month, okay? All right, so we have Jupiter coming through. We have some energy here in finances and wealth. I think we're going to take both of these here under advice, and then let's pull some charms for you. What else, Spirit, for group number 1 in the month of May? All right. Let's see. This is coming here. Look, we have this little navigation again. That's an interesting synchronicity. We have a little Christmas tree here. We have a key. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, it's like this inner conflict. I'm drawn over here to Spirit and self, right? Because this exposed and revealed stuff is causing a lot of conflict for you guys, like inner conflict specifically. And the number 5 signifies challenges that push us to change. And so I think whatever you guys are going through this month is actually fated with these playing cards. Like it's a fated inner conflict that is kind of pushing you into changing something. And I do really feel like a lot of this change is about the inner work that needs to be done so that you can be able to move forward and make progress with that Knight of Pentacles being reversed. Okay. I feel like you guys are moving into something, like something around home and family is what you're navigating through this month, okay? And maybe that's where the heartbreak energy is coming through. Like for some of you guys, like I wonder if you're breaking up with a partner, like a wife or a spouse, or there's like heartache around this. It's interesting too with the wheel coming up twice. Like it's making me feel like there's some sort of ending and new beginning that you are navigating as it pertains to home and family matters specifically. And I think a marriage partnership could be a part of that. But it's interesting because we don't really have anything showing up here with regard to love and partnerships in your little wheel, in our little charm board here. So something about it is more so impacting the family and the home, whereas like the emphasis may not necessarily be as much on the person that you're dealing with or have been dealing with, okay? Now, you guys have a lot of stuff happening here with career, with work, finances. We have some really beautiful energies, so I want to go through those next. So you guys have a Christmas tree here, and the Christmas tree talks about the energy of joy. You do also have Jupiter here under career. Jupiter talks about expansion. So for some of you, it could be that you're getting a lot more opportunities at work, and these opportunities are opportunities that are bringing you a lot of joy. But I also feel like these opportunities could be triggering the imposter syndrome that we were talking about as well. You know, that it kind of all ties and connects together. You guys could be doing something in communications for work, or something about that could be important, but you are getting more opportunity. Jupiter can also talk about things like higher education, foreign travel, belief systems, philosophy, expansion in our knowledge and expansion in those areas. So those could be specific areas that you're digging into a little bit more as it pertains to your career. All right. And then with finances, we also have the wand energy. So the wand talks about spirituality, the ego, creativity. It also can talk about spark, like a spark of something that really excites us. So there's something new I feel that's igniting here around finances as well this month. Now, when I was looking at your tarot cards, you guys, the thing is that like I'm not really seeing necessarily indications of like you getting a bunch of money. I think that there is something you're getting that could be just enough to spark something new potentially. But again, I feel for some of you that you've got to be willing to receive it, because there's like this stubborn energy that I feel for some of you where it's like this is not enough, and I'm just gonna stay where I'm at until I get what I want, which could be, maybe that's the case, right? The wand energy is an energy also of like fire, right? So that can be passion. It can also be anger and frustration. You know what I mean? So maybe for some of you, you're deciding like not to move forward with something because the money that you want isn't quite right. You know what I mean? If it's like a promotion or like a new job offer, you might be like, what the heck? This is not enough. I deserve more than that. And so there's like a little bit of stagnation here. Okay. But there is something that's sparking for you around money and finances. Okay, so more career opportunity. I also think too, you guys, like whatever career opportunities you're getting do bring you joy, because the Christmas tree means joy, and it's also a symbol of like celebrations. The Christmas tree also, like, it's making me think of December, because that's when Christmas falls, right? So maybe for some of you guys, this is something that was in talks around the month of December, and you're getting more expansive opportunity toward it now. It might be, you know, that something with the money isn't exactly like what you wanted, but the job itself or the work itself brings you a lot of emotional fulfillment. So there's just certain factors that are at play there. Now, we also have some energy coming up in your social life and others area of the chart. So this could have to do with friends or groups that you belong to. This could also have to do with like coworkers. I could see that being the case too. Just other people, groups of people that we connect with. So we've got the bell, which signifies some sort of news, okay? Some sort of news that I think is going to be able to unlock some sort of door for you or provide you with some sort of wisdom, because the key is like a wisdom that we receive, or it's like some sort of spiritual insight that helps us to unlock something here. With the cross, this could be like literal in terms of maybe this has to do with church or religion that you guys practice, but the cross also can talk about sacrifices that we make. You know, so maybe some of you are making a sacrifice for the betterment of a group this month, or something like that. There could be some burdens and things as well that maybe some of you are feeling as it pertains to whatever this announcement or news or thing is that you're doing with other people. So to close out your reading, group number 1, we're going to move into the advice. Okay, so for advice, we've got the 9th house, and then we also have the energy of Aries coming through. So Aries has to do with leadership energy and moving forward. The 9th house is very similar energy to Jupiter, which can talk about travel, your belief systems, higher education, all of those things. Okay. Philosophy, religion, all that. So I do think that Spirit is saying your advice this month is to move forward, right? Step into your leadership power, step into your leadership energy. Maybe there's a need here to expand your belief systems as you move forward in your leadership energy. And I feel like that does kind of tie in to this energy of the moon that we were talking about with perception, right? There's something about your perception that I do feel will be shifting this month or needs to shift this month to better empower you on what direction you're going moving forward. Okay. So this is what I see for you, group 1. Let me know in the comments what's happening for you this month, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group 2, and welcome to your reading. If you guys selected the moss agate, this is going to be your message. So we're looking into your month ahead for May. We're going to begin with your oracle and tarot cards, and then we will transition over to charms and dice, which will be timestamped below in case you guys like to skip ahead to that portion faster. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at your overall energy for the month of May, group 2. So we start off with the message of birds of a feather. We've got the 10th house, and we've got solar, calm, clarify. Okay, group 2. So birds of a feather is kind of making me feel like this month, the focus is going to be more on like the group energy. I love the message of birds of a feather because it kind of makes me feel like you're in some sort of a group that everybody like gets along. Birds of a feather stick together. Now the Billie Eilish song is going through my mind. But there's a group here. There's 4 birds. So it's definitely an energy of collective versus individual this month. This could be connected to something very public that you guys are doing with the 10th house. So the 10th house can talk about like our career, things that we're known for in terms of the work that we do, our reputation, right? It can also talk about public image too. So all of those things could be factored into this group. It does feel with the solar calm that things are calm, literally. Like this is an energy where maybe there's not a lot happening or there's not a lot going on, but it's a time of peace. Right? It's a time where things are very peaceful. And sometimes like you need things to be calm, like it's not always good to be completely, active all the time or go all the time, because when you're doing that, when you're in that energy, like you might miss things, right? So being in the solar calm, I think is allowing you, as this card is talking about, to clarify something, to see something more clearly. Okay. So let's continue, group 2. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about the month of May for group number 2? Okay, so we've got the 7 of Swords. The Temperance card. And the 8 of Swords in reverse. I feel like with this Knight of Swords, you're wanting to go places, like you're wanting to go somewhere, or maybe there's an energy of wanting to get away from some sort of painful situation. Like the thing that's kind of coming up for me here with this group energy, like I feel like someone maybe in this group, maybe you, group 2, like you've been taking shots on something or making a lot of sacrifices here. And I do kind of feel like with this Temperance card being here, there's this desire for balance and there is this desire for calm, right? Like maybe things have just felt really chaotic or there's been a lot going on. Okay. Temperance can talk about the need as well to integrate different energies. So it's really interesting with that coming up under the birds of a feather card, right? Because birds of a feather sounds like everybody's on the same page, but I feel like internally, not everybody might be on the same page. Like we might have different approaches to things. We may have different ways of communicating, or just like different goals and objectives. And so the temperance really talks about being very intentional about how we are kind of slowly integrating those energies together in order to create harmony and alchemy. So it's a slower moving energy, which makes sense with the solar calm. Like it might be that this month, not a lot is really happening because this is a period where we are getting to know each other or integrating those energies or kind of taking our time to create that flow. Okay. So let me look at this. I think you guys, group 2, are very strategic with the 7 of Swords. Like, I do think with this card of authority, the 10th house, like, I think that you are maybe in this group or using this group, not in a negative way, but it's like there's a strategic vision that you have. The 7 of Swords is an energy of moving in silence. It is an energy of doing what's right for us. And I feel like with how he is holding this little arrow and kind of waiting behind the tree, there could be some sort of goal or objective that you guys have your eye on. And so there is sort of this energy of moving in silence and kind of waiting for the right moment with temperance to go after whatever that is. And I think it's a part of, like, something about this group is a part of where you want to go ultimately with the 10th house. The nice thing is with the solar calm, like the 8 of Swords being reversed here, I don't think that you're feeling anxious about it. Like, I think that you're starting to step into your power a little bit more. It's kind of interesting too, right? Because when I'm looking at the Temperance card, it's divided into 2 halves, right? We've got this side where we've got this beautiful light and the field kind of being exposed. And then we've got the other side where we've got this like storm energy and this like powerful lightning bolt, okay? So it's kind of interesting to look at the card that way with the surrounding cards next to it, because it's like something strategic is being exposed. Maybe for some of you guys, something shady has been exposed about this group, because the 7 of Swords can talk about deception, dishonesty, someone being shady, thieving, like things like that. But it feels like that is being highlighted and exposed. It's like either you know the strategy that you need to take, or somebody in the group or something kind of underhanded came into the light. And it's kind of allowing us to transmute that energy and to channel our power more effectively now. Because the 8 of Swords in reverse is telling me that there is, you know, at the end of the month, a moment of you guys really stepping into your power and your authority, and not allowing, you know, self-sabotaging views of yourself to kind of get in the way of your goals. Okay. So let's keep going. Group 2. What else? What else, Spirit, for group 2 in the month of May? We have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So it's interesting, right? Because the 7 of Swords, this card is communication, right? It's about listening to understand, but also conveying your truth. But it's interesting because the 7 of Swords is typically a card of not communicating, of withholding communication. Maybe this is a strategic move that needs to be made in order to create the harmony that we're trying to create within this group here. Okay. We do also, we have deceit. Okay. So there's definitely something that is in the shadows here with adjacent possibilities. So you guys, I think, you know, this is showing up as your energy. You know, I think that you're taking a more strategic, more measured approach because there is some sort of ultimate goal that you are wishing to achieve here that's going to be better for you. You know what I mean? And so I think that if this does involve working in a group of other people, or if others are involved in whatever moves you're trying to make, you're kind of making this decision to not necessarily loop them in to what you're doing, I feel. Because we have deceit and the Seven of Swords, it's coming up twice. And it's just making me feel like what you guys are doing behind the scenes is something that you're keeping to yourself, okay? That you're kind of like maybe even looking for an escape or like an alternate route into something that you're going for here. All right, so let's keep going. And by the way, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, okay? It's just the energy that I see. Sometimes with the Seven of Swords, like we have to do what's right for us. You know what I mean? And sometimes telling other people can be problematic because, you know, maybe they're going to tell their opinion, or maybe they're going to sabotage, or, you know, there are always, you know, going to be good and bad reasons to keep things to yourself. It just depends on your situation. Okay. So let's see. Group 2. We have lock and unlock, the key. Something is unlocking for you, I feel like. We also have acceptance and eccentric. That's kind of interesting coming up over the Temperance card because, again, it's kind of like reminding me of what we talked about of like integrating energies that are a little bit different from ours. So yeah, I think there's some sort of opportunity or goal that you're looking to unlock for yourself. And it's interesting with lock and unlock because it's making me think of when do I communicate versus when do I keep it to myself, right? So I'm going to unlock my communication or I'm going to lock it up very strategically this month. I do think, so the teeth energy is interesting because this talks about control and change. There is some sort of a change that I think that you guys are wanting, or some sort of a change. Yeah, because with the solar calm, it's making me feel like things are just not going as fast as you would like, or things are just not happening in the way that you want them to right now, you know? So I do think that there is some sort of change that you are desiring that is like kind of bringing this strategic energy as the plan into the light for you this month. It's kind of like, well, if I'm not going to get what I need from this opportunity, I'm going to still be here and take advantage of it, but I'm also going to like look for additional opportunities that might better suit my professional goals or whatever it is that I want to be doing, what I want to be known for here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, group 2, I'm going to clear everything off the table and we'll get some more information with your charms next. All right, group 2. So let's get some additional insight to your message with your charms and dice. Okay. One fell on the ground, but I'll get that later. All right, so we've got the new moon. We have the moon here. We have some stuff coming up under the business world for you. This one did not land anywhere. Okay, let's get some charms for group 2. Okay, lots of stuff kind of plopping into the center. So we've got some stuff here. This one's going up here. This one is going here. I feel like these are just kind of wanting to stay in the center. Okay. All righty. So what is happening? I think there's something with career, like definitely that 10th house card that we got and this energy here with Aries and the cup. There's definitely something about career that's very significant. And, you know, Aries energy is leadership energy. It's our passionate energy, but it's also like we want to move. You know what I mean? We want to go. We're very driven. We're ambitious. I definitely feel that you guys, group number 2, are very ambitious this month about your work, which again is driving a lot of that strategic energy that we saw. And with the cup being here, what this is about is like your passion, the love that you have for the work that you want to do. The cup, you know, this symbolizes like our emotions. It can be spiritual energy. So this work is something that you are spiritually and emotionally guided to do. Now, the cup can also talk about things like love, relationships, our feelings, right? And we do have the moon energy coming up here under partnerships, which is really significant because, again, people are connected to what it is that you're going after this month. Relationships are really important. The moon can also talk about our feelings and emotions. So I think when it comes to your partnerships with regard to the situation, this month is going to be all about, with career and partnerships, like really feeling things out and listening to what your emotions are telling you, what your intuition is telling you about this situation. Now, with your social life and others, we also have the little clothespin. So the clothespin can talk about securing something, like holding something down. It's interesting that's coming up in this area of the chart here, because again, at the heart of your spread was this birds of a feather. So there's something about securing and holding down others, not necessarily in a bad way, but maybe this again has to do with like a career opportunity that you're pursuing that has to involve other people, and wanting to make sure that you've got like the right group of people with you to be successful. Okay. So we have the swan and we also have the cross showing up here kind of in the heart of this whole chart. So I feel like this is spirit saying that these are themes that are highly, highly significant throughout the month of May in all matters of life. The swan talks of loyalty, okay? And the cross can talk about sacrifice. It can be hardships, forgiveness, unconditional love. So those are core themes to the month ahead. And it's just kind of interesting with loyalty coming up, because I'm not going to lie, guys. This is not loyal energy. You know what I mean? And neither is this. Okay. There is definitely something that's going on where I feel like you guys are keeping things from others out of like self-preservation, or out of just wanting to work toward a certain goal. You know what I mean? So just something that spirit is calling your attention to. Again, it doesn't mean it necessarily has to be good or bad. I'm just reading the energy that I see. I don't know the full context of everybody's situation out there, but spirit is highlighting those things for you. So we do have a little bird here, which can talk about conversations, socializing. So again, this is under home and family. So maybe the people that we're picking up on have to do with family members. Okay. We do also have this little moon and star, which talks about when we adore something, but we do also have the teddy bear, which can talk about childhood trauma. So there could be something connected to childhood wounds that you're digging into this month as well, or that's kind of playing into how this energy is playing out this month. It's like giving me the energy of talking about the things that are bothering us. Like maybe somebody out there was like put on a pedestal, or put like a parent on a pedestal or something like that, and that is kind of impacting like the way that they're navigating the situation with other people. But to close out your message, group 2, we do have some advice in this area of the chart. We have the bell, which can talk about news. I also think of like ringing something to clear out energy. I do feel with the new moon energy being here, remember we had the solar calm. So it makes sense with the bell, because it's almost like spirit is saying like it's time to kind of clear the energy of this situation and start something fresh. And maybe you guys have determined that the adjacent possibility is the route that you need to go that's best for you, because maybe your intuition is telling you something about these people or this situation that you're in. The new moon is talking about setting the intention for a new beginning, right? So I think the new beginning here is about clearing the air. Maybe it's about communication. We did get the throat chakra, or clearing out of a situation that's no longer serving you so that you can be able to start fresh. So this is what I'm seeing, group 2. Comment below. Let me know. I'm super curious to know what's been happening in your life leading up to this point. And I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hey group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys selected this little rose pink calcite crystal, this is going to be your message for the month of May. So we're going to begin your reading with your oracle and tarot cards, and then we will also be getting some charms and dice, and I'll have that portion of your reading timestamp below in case any of you guys like to skip ahead to that a little bit sooner. Okay, so let's see what's ahead for you this month, group 3. So we start off with the message of seeing beyond. We've got the Immonkoli, which is the root, lowest point, most private point in the birth chart. And then we also have Vesta. Okay. So overall energy, group number 3. So seeing beyond is very clearly kind of talking about the third eye, activating the third eye. And so the third eye is talking about intuition and kind of being able to see clearly in a spiritual sense. Okay, seeing beyond is kind of making me think of like seeing beyond the obvious, seeing beyond the surface level, and being able to go a little bit deeper into what is going on in the situation. With the Immonkoli here, again, the most private point in the birth chart, the lowest point in the birth chart, not low meaning bad or anything, but this is kind of echoing that message of being able to see things much more deeply and seeing kind of like the root of the matter, the heart of the matter, versus just focusing on what's on the surface. And this card can also kind of talk about like our ancestors too, right? Because a lot of times this is going to fall in the 4th house of the birth chart, which is all about our home, our family, our upbringing, our childhood experience, and also like our ancestors, ancestral issues or things or gifts that are passed on from generation to generation. Maybe some of you guys inherited spiritual gift from your ancestors, and this is a month where you're going to be tapping more into that, learning more about that. Maybe this is a month where certain things that are going on in your life, you can kind of see how they tie back to your upbringing or your family, right? It could be just seeing things more clearly, seeing things more deeply than you did before. So all of that is core to the theme of what's happening for you this month, group 3. You guys also have the energy of Vesta too, which is a really beautiful message about, how do I want to phrase it? There's something about not burning yourself out and being this like warm and welcoming space without overextending. Right? And I feel like some of you guys might burn yourselves out, or maybe you have a tendency to overextend yourself. And maybe that comes from something in childhood or comes from something in your family life. So Vesta is about being that warm, inviting presence, or seeking out maybe that warm, inviting presence, but not doing it in a way that is going to burn ourselves out. Okay. So let's continue, group 3. This is a very interesting energy. I do feel very calm when tapping into your energy. All of these readings have been very different so far, but I do feel like yours is very different from the other two. All right, group 3. So what's happening, Spirit, in May for group 3? Okay. 7 of Cups reversed. Ace of Cups. 7 of Pentacles reversed. Awesome. I'm actually going to pull, actually no, let's go here first and then we'll pull the other cards. So I think toward the beginning of the month of May, I almost feel like some of you guys, kind of going back to this Vesta, like maybe you've been spread really thin, or there's been like, you've had your hands in a lot of different things coming into the month of May. And I feel like with the 7 of Cups in reverse, there is now this energy of like, okay, I've got to select the one thing that I want to do. Okay. And we're going with that. Because with this Seven of Cups, you can see like he's got all of these different shells, right? But then we end up with picking just one shell. So I think there is an energy of like selecting something and kind of going with it this month for a lot of my group 3 viewers. And the Ace of Cups is emotion, right? It is the energy of potential emotion, maybe like romantic energy, spiritual energy, something that really aligns and resonates with the heart space and has a lot of potential to grow and flourish into something more. And for a lot of you, maybe with this Four of Cups in reverse, this is an opportunity or a situation or a person that you have passed up in the past because maybe you just like weren't really seeing it. Maybe you weren't ready for it. I also think that any confusion that you've had with the Seven of Cups is going to be cleared, right? Because again, seeing beyond is about seeing things clearly and not allowing like our projections or our idealizations of something to cloud our judgment. And sometimes with the Seven of Cups, this can happen when we are like really, into Lululand or really projecting something onto the situation, making it really idealized. It's that energy of Neptune where like our vision is clouded. We're not seeing it clearly. And I do think that you're seeing it clearly this month. Okay. Now it's interesting with the Seven of Pentacles because it's in reverse. And so when I see the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, this is typically an energy when we are deciding to throw in the towel on something, or we're deciding that like what we've invested is not really in our highest good, right? Or we need to maybe revisit or refresh something, starting all over again. So there could be an energy of you guys kind of starting something over, or maybe it's just about taking a different approach in the way that you do invest, working smarter, not harder. Again, with Vesta, I think you guys might have a tendency at times to burn out, So it's about coming up with a more sustainable way of doing the things you want to do. Let's continue. Group 3. We have appreciation. That's beautiful. So it could be more of an emphasis on gratitude this month as well. And then we do also have the woman holding a coin coming through too. And, with yin yang here, this makes a lot of sense with Vesta. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you are the responsible person. Like you are the person that maybe you take care of everyone, you do all the things, like you show up, you provide support and resources to others. But with Vesta being here, it really does feel like this month is about really looking at, how much are you extending of yourself, and knowing with yin yang, like when do I take action versus when should I pull back my energy to create that balance. It could be career stuff, you guys, like, with the woman holding a coin and the Ace of Cups, this could have to do with feeling more emotionally connected to your work, kind of instead of spreading ourselves so thin, going in the one direction that feels the most fulfilling to us, and maybe understanding through looking at our ancestors or looking at the root cause of the problem, like why we were doing what we were doing before that was burning us out. Okay. We have the Moose, acceptance, and eccentric. So I feel like this is kind of about you accepting the situation for what it is, accepting yourself for what it was or what it is, having gratitude for the uniqueness in yourself or the situation or your ancestors. Okay. One more. And then we do also have the Old Man, inheritance and male. So this could be connected to, again, a male ancestor or an older man in your life. Um, hmm. We do also have this energy of envy and protection here at the bottom of the deck as well with that old man. So I think, again, going with the Vesta and the woman holding a coin, I think that you guys are just doing a better job of setting boundaries around the things that you can and cannot do, right? And maybe this has to do with an interpersonal relationship of significance in your life, but I think for a lot of you, this also has to do with ancestors and like behavior and patterns that you have carried on from ancestors and why you show up the way you do, and maybe even understanding that on this person's perspective as well. So let's take a look at the charms next, group 3. All right, group 3, so let's take a look at your dice and charms to see what other info we can get about your month of May. Okay, so we've got the moon, we've got the first quarter, we have pentacles, and we've got the number 4 coming through. Let's get some charms. Okay, lots of charms coming through. Put these away. The letter G, we have a little butterfly here, some partnership. You guys have a lot of stuff. Like, I just think that this energy of seeing beyond and understanding root causes. Yeah, look at all this. All of these things are pointing into the home and family area of this little chart here. So it's just really interesting because that really directly connects to that I'm Empowered card that we got in your spread. I want to start here, okay, because I think there's somebody out here who could be really digging into some home and family matters this month and how they impact them. Again, with this like envy and protection, and also with the squid, right? Because the squid can talk about like threats. You know what I mean? And the squid is also something that's living deep within the sea that we can't necessarily see it as a human, right? It's just there underneath the surface. So that's what I feel like is driving a lot of your month ahead. Group 3 is digging deeper beneath the surface. And there is something connected to digging into home and family. And there is some sort of spiritual wisdom with this third eye and this key that is being unlocked for you through doing this work to dig into home and family stuff, okay? We have the number 4, which the number 4 can talk about stability and it can talk about our foundations, right? So again, I think there's something in the foundation that is hidden or that has been hidden or that you haven't necessarily seen clearly leading up until this point. But I feel like this month you are uncovering it. You are unlocking it. And I feel like it's helping you to kind of stand in your power a little bit more. Like, it's making me feel like there's somebody within your home and family life that you guys maybe like really idealized or put up on a pedestal. You know, this little charm, literally the key word for it is adored, right? It's like someone hanging the moon and stars. You know, does that resonate for some of you guys? Like, was there someone, maybe that older male that popped up, or someone that you thought really hung the moon and stars? Not saying that they didn't, right? But there is something about, I think, that specific ancestor that you're going to be exploring a little bit more deeply this month, and how like the foundation of connecting to this ancestor impacted you, whether both positive or negative in your life, okay? Let's see. You know, I think a lot of this exploration that you're doing is also going to be pushing for changes with your interpersonal relationships and your career too, specifically with your social life and the way you interact with others. We have the butterfly, you know, so the butterfly does talk about transformation. So there are going to be changes. And I think the way that you guys are showing up with others, there are going to be changes in maybe the people that you interact with on a daily basis. We do also have this little diamond energy in love and partnership. So there's some sort of new commitment or promise that you're making in your one-on-one partnerships and relationships. This could specifically have to do with like a spouse or romantic partner in your life. We have the letter C here, so that could be somebody's initials or just confirmation of who this is about for some of you out there. Again, it's a general reading, so the initials aren't necessarily going to resonate with everybody specifically. Within career as well, we've got the first quarter moon. We also have an initial here, which is the letter G. So the letter G could be, again, someone's initials for confirmation, but the first quarter moon kind of talks about holding on to our vision, right? It's sort of like we're halfway to our goal, and now is a time where we want to either, it's interesting, right? Because here's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This energy of the first quarter moon is kind of like when we're reassessing where we are and deciding, is it time to throw in the towel on that, or is it time to push forward? So I think that this Seven of Pentacles energy is coming up. Like there are going to be some readjustments that you're making when it comes to your career and business goals and objectives this month, group 3. Okay. We do have some stuff coming up through here in finances and wealth. I actually feel like this month with finances and wealth, things are going to be feeling positive for you. This music little treble clef here, things are feeling harmonious. Things are feeling like they're in sync. The moon has to do with like our emotion. And we also had that Ace of Cups, right? So there's more of an emotional connection to the work that you're doing and the money that you're making from it. It could even be connected to this inheritance money energy too. Like maybe some of you guys are receiving an inheritance, helping things to feel more harmonious. If it's coming from this beloved ancestor, like the energy of love is connected to it for you as well, which could make sense with the moon being there. Okay, and then we also have a few items coming up under health and well-being. So I think you guys are going to be investing more in your health and well-being this month, really like digging into things. Like the teddy bear can talk about trauma. I always think of like childhood trauma with this too, because it's a teddy bear. So it's just kind of interesting that is also coming up with the I'm Umqueli. It just seems like this is a big month of digging into childhood stuff for you, group 3. So there's definitely something that's been impacting your well-being that I think you're aware of this month. With the squid, you're investing more in your health and well-being. And I think just in your day-to-day life, like focusing more on investing in things that actually bring you joy. Because the Christmas tree talks about like bringing joy to something. Maybe even the season of Christmas could be significant for some of you, especially like when I see it together with the teddy bear, I think of childhood memories as it pertains to Christmas or something that could be significant. So maybe that is something you're digging into as well, group 3. I know like it's May, so it's not Christmas time, but that could be, it doesn't mean that you can't be digging into that or reflecting on the memories of that for some of you. But yeah, definitely more effort being put into your day-to-day well-being routine. So no real advice coming through for you guys other than the letter F here. So this could have to do with maybe family, or maybe this is, again, somebody's initials. The initials are going to mean different things to different people out there. So if you have something on your mind with the initial of the letter F, then I feel like Spirit is just pointing you to like, this is the area that you need to focus on, and your intuition is correct there. But it looks like a really interesting month ahead for you, group 3. Definitely very introspective. Comment below. Let me know what is going on with you guys, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye.